too. Hopefully, I'm sounding good. Hopefully, everything's looking all right. It's a little late, you know what I'm saying? It's 10:10 on the East Coast. This was to happen at 9:45. Then I said, okay, let me give it till 10:15. And then I jumped on at 10:10. So 10:10 New York City time. We live with it. You know what this is. My name is UGoddess. This is Black Girl in a Blue State, because that's basically who I am and what I represent. As far as this politics is concerned, of course. We're here tonight, and if you know anything about me or my channel, if you've watched the last couple of Black Girls in the Blue State lives, then you know we're here to talk about the Kamala Harris interview on CNN tonight. I thought it was going to be live, but obviously it was chopped up and pre-recorded. And she had her vice president nominee alongside her, Coach Tim, you know what I'm saying? And they was getting it popping with Dana Bash, CNN, a friendly network to the Democrats, you know what I'm saying? But they did make it known that they did extend a request or an invitation to the Trump camp to also come and do an interview. So Trump, whenever you're ready, you could go sit down with CNN too. And the way how I look at it, if he was comfortable enough to sit down with the national black journalists, you know what I'm saying, and talk to them and take their questions hard body by himself, face to face with them, then he could go sit down with CNN. No big deal. I don't know why they make such a big deal out of going and sitting down with like opposing cable news networks. So what? Like, if everything that you have to say is true and you solid on what you're saying and everything you say is coming from your heart and you really do mean that, why can't you go to an opposing news network and go sit down and talk to them? Why are you only talking to your friends? That makes no sense to me. If anything, you should want to go to the opposite side. Like, if CNN is for the Democrats and Fox News is for the Republicans, if I'm a Republican, I want to go talk to CNN. Who cares what type of questions they're going to throw at me? If I have answers to those questions, I might actually be able to win over some of the voters on the other side, and vice versa. If you're a Democrat, why can't you go sit down with Fox News and go answer their questions and go put yourself in front of their audience? I don't see what the big deal is. They're so silly sometimes and childish. They'll say stuff like, and this is on both sides. This is on both sides. They'll say stuff like, oh, I'm not going to go over there. They're going to throw hardball questions, gotcha questions, and all of this kind of foolishness. When really it's like, you should be looking at that as an opportunity. If you truly believe in what you stand on, and you truly believe in what you're campaigning on, why would you not want to go talk to the other side and maybe, just maybe, add a few new voters to your roster? You never know. You never know. Richard, thank you for joining me. First things first, before we even get into the Kamala interview, the live reaction to the Kamala interview, I'm sorry, my ring light is distracting me because it's all up in my glasses. It's all up in my glasses. So I see these two rings and it's just really distracting. I hope it's not distracting you. But before we get into Kamala and Tim Walz, Trump for president. All right, Terrence, what's going on, Texas? Thank you for stopping by. You out there repossessing people's cars? Do you ever just feel sorry and give them a chance? I appreciate you, Enoch. Thank you for stopping by. Before we get into Kamala's interview, we're going to start first with some stuff that's been in the news concerning former President Trump. He's just messing up. He's just getting himself out there in the news for all the wrong reasons. And there's certain things that you just can't clean up. There's certain things that you just can't explain away, especially when the Arlington National Cemetery is coming for you. You really going to sit here and say the Arlington National Cemetery is lying? Thank you, Terrence. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you for stopping by. But listen, so this is what's going on. Y'all know what's going on, right? So Trump went to the Arlington National Cemetery. You know, that's where the soldiers are buried. You know what I'm saying? And it's very emotional. It's very American. This is the loss of military. You know, this is a big deal in this country. And he's there at the Arlington National Cemetery, and they have strict rules. They don't care who you are. There's no politicalness going on when you come in here. Like, You can't shoot videos. You can't shoot commercials. You cannot turn this into some type of political. Thank you, Gia, and Jesus loves you too. Thank you. Amen. Don't try to turn this into some type of a political campaign move. If you're here to honor the lost soldiers. You're here to honor the families of the lost soldiers. You're not here for your own political gains. That's just the rules. It's not red or blue. It's straight across the board. So Trump is there at the invite and the request of these 13 families. No, Nick, we're not going to do that because this is not a religious channel. This is not a religious channel. We're not going to get into God. It's bad enough that we getting into politics, Nick. You want to get into politics and religion? I think that's overkill. That's overkill. But in this particular area, Sam, in this particular area I want to call it Area 61, but it's not called Area 61. I believe it's called Section 60. You are not allowed to shoot video for political reasons, not for documentary reasons, not for informational purposes, but for political gains. You're not allowed to do that. This was explained to him. So he was there because he was supposed to be there. He was there because he was invited to be there. So all of that is great and fine and well and dandy. It was the fact that Hillary, what you doing? You shouting out Trump 2024. You changed your colors. You changed your ways. And, you know, out of respect for the families and out of respect for the lost soldiers, out of respect for the dead and gone, you shouldn't be shooting videos. Trump did it anyway. To make a long story short, Trump did it anyway. Patrick says there's a reason for those rules. Some families just want people to rest. One family tombstone was in that video and the family was insulted. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Sam Rosenthal. And my condolences for your lost loved ones who may be buried in Arlington. I'm talking about this particular section that Donald Trump was in. Like I said, I believe it's called Section or Sector 60. I keep calling it Area 61, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful or funny because I'm not a comedian, but you understand why I could get the two mixed up. But anyway, at the end of the day, he shot a video. He shot a commercial, basically a commercial, and he got in trouble for it. And not only did he do that, but when an employee of the cemetery was trying to stop his people from filming, there was a physical altercation with this female employee of the Arlington National Cemetery and Trump's camp. Not Donald Trump himself, obviously, but someone from Trump's side and someone from the cemetery side got into a little bit of a shoving match or a little bit of a tussle over them trying to shoot this video in that area of the cemetery where they're not allowed to shoot advertisement and they're not allowed to do anything political in there. So, of course, you let Trump's side tell it and they like, it didn't go down like that. We were invited. We were special guests of these Gold Star families. They wanted us there. They told us to take pictures. They wanted us to take pictures. And that's fine and dandy. But the fact that the Arlington National Cemetery people came out and made a statement makes it to the point where I'm saying somebody's telling the truth and somebody's telling a lie. There's three sides to every story, right? And if Arlington is saying that this happened, if Arlington is coming out and saying, look, we don't like getting into political drama. We don't do this. That's not what we do here. But we got to come out and right these wrongs and right some of these misinterpreted statements and let y'all know what really happened. And what they're saying is that's how it went down. Trump was trying to film. The employee tried to stop them, and there was physicalness going on. There was a physical altercation. The report from the Army said his advisor pushed the guard away and had them enter restricted area. Though the Army will not prosecute, it was disrespectful. Yes, so that's what I'm saying. Like, these people normally do not get involved in politics, but they did come out and make a statement. However, they are not going to press charges. The woman who was pushed is not going to press charges. Those Gold Star families do not speak for all the other Gold Star family whose loved ones are buried there too. Exactly, Mike. I mean, I just say the rules are the rules. It really don't matter how you feel about it. You might say, what's the big deal? Let him shoot a video. He was invited to be there with those Gold Star families. Or you might say it was totally wrong. It was very distasteful for him to want to turn this into some type of a political move or a move for his presidential campaign. But however you look at it, aren't the rules supposed to be the rules? Sam, Biden and Harris, they put out statements. They put out statements. They were not there physically. Sincere says the man is spiritually and emotionally unhinged and able to articulate a passionate political argument. I'm telling you, I mean, Jared right above you is saying Trump 2024. Jared, I would love to know your thoughts about Trump's or his camp's behavior at the most sacred, final resting place for U.S. lost soldiers. I'm sorry, Texas. What's going on? Talk to me. Tell me why you're offended. Talk to me. Bill says, Marine taught Bible over 60 years, Shepherd's Chapel. YouTube explains the whole Bible. God bless. God bless. Amen. So he got in trouble for that. And another thing that Trump decided he was going to get himself in trouble for this week was retweeting. So this is not his own personal tweet, allegedly, that we know of, but he retweeted someone else's tweet that was a photo or perhaps a video. I have not personally seen it, but this is what's being reported. Thank you, Hannah. I appreciate that. Retweeted a photo or a video of Hillary, as in Hillary Clinton, and Kamala Harris. And the caption was something to the effect of, both of these women have used blowjobs to get to where they are in life, or both of these women's, have blowjobs in their history, that kind of thing. Something very disgusting like that. Ha ha ha, it's a joke. We both get it, right? We all get it, and we get the reference. Do we not get the blowjob reference? So childish. And Trump retweeted that, y'all. He retweeted. This man is running for president. How long are we going to continue to explain away his behavior by saying it's just, what do they call it? Locker room humor, locker room talk. Yeah, okay. Foxy Gamer, this is what I've heard. I don't know. Were you there? I wasn't there. I don't know. This is what I've also heard. And you know what? There's always a little truth in every lie, is there not? There's always a little truth in every joke, is there not? So if people are out there sort of saying that, what do we know? We don't know. We weren't there. Maybe there's a little truth to it. I do not know. But she is who she is, and she's got to where she got. You know what I'm saying? That's not the issue. The issue is, should a man who is running to get back to the White House after just being convicted of 34 felonies, should he be retweeting a tweet like that? Such a repulsive tweet. How do you feel about that? Like, why would he not want to leave that alone? Oh, and here's the kicker, y'all. Here's the kicker. His camp says, when they were asked to comment on him retweeting such a disgusting tweet, they said it's possible that he retweeted it and didn't even know what the caption said. Is that a good enough excuse? That's kind of scary, Jared. Talk to me. That's kind of scary. Like, for him to be retweeting something and not reading it first, I think I would rather them just say, hey, he saw it, he thought it was funny, he related to it, and he retweeted it. I would rather them say that than say, he probably just saw the picture, didn't know what it was, and just retweeted it. Jared says, I'm a dentist in South Texas. This border crisis is insane. We need secure borders. Let's talk about that, Jared. Foxy Gamer says, if she actually did those things, the fact that she did them is even more repulsive than other people pointing it out. Okay, but this is not other people pointing it out. This is the man who is the Republican nominee for the president of the United States. Is it okay for him to retweet something like that? The economy is the issue. The border is the issue. Let's talk about it. So I just wanted to get Trump out of the way. This is not a Trump bashing session. Trump, makes decisions and makes moves and does things on his own that we could sit here and talk about him all day. His vice presidential nominee, or his pick for vice president, he ain't doing no better out there this week, y'all. He ain't doing no better. He's getting booed out there. He went out there to go talk to the union. Hold on, Sam. I'm gonna get there. Sam, give me a second. This is just my opening rant. I promise you, I'm gonna get to the interview. Vance is out there getting booed, talking to union workers. He's literally saying to them, me and Trump are for the hardworking blue collar people, and they're booing him. Um, this is the same man that has a problem with women who have not procreated yet. Like, if you're a woman and you haven't had any children, you shouldn't have any say so in anything. Like, go and make some babies. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you not making babies? Like, this is someone who, like I said, look, women reproductive issues are not Democrat issues. Women's reproductive issues are not Republican issues. That is a woman issue. And are there not Republican women? I got you, Texas. I got you. Let me scroll back up. You said you were offended by the video, and I asked you to tell me why. I don't see anything since you said I'm offended by this video, Texas Repo. Talk to me. I don't see anything since you said that. I live less than 20 minutes from the border. You can literally watch drugs and children being trafficked at night. Oh, Foxy. That's scary. I'm up in the Northeast, you know what I'm saying? We live in two totally different worlds. But I'm not here to argue policies. I'm here to react to the interview. Okay, so let's get to the interview. So the very first question, hi, Rafael. Hola. Should I say hola to you, Rafael? Let's get to the interview. We're here to react to Kamala's very first sit-down interview since becoming the official nominee for the presidency. Okay, so one of the very first questions that Dana Bash asked her on CNN tonight was, what are you going to do on day one? No, Texas, that's not true. How could it not? What do you mean it doesn't affect me? Don't I live in the United States? I mean, I'm here. I'm just not on the border like y'all. I'm just not in Texas like you. But I mean, illegal immigration affects me too. Border security affects me too. I don't want to live in a country where we don't have any secure borders, where people are just coming in willy-nilly, any way, anyhow they want to, and there's no security, there's no kind of system set in place. Why would I ever want that? It don't matter how far up north I am, and I'm pretty far up. I'm pretty far up. The Northeast, as a matter of fact, but that doesn't mean that I don't care about what's going on at the border. Please don't ever even think that for 1 second, because I got to live here too. It's going to affect me eventually, somehow, some way. What are you going to do on day one, Kamala? And she says the very first thing she wants to do is bring down the cost of goods. She wants to bring down the cost of goods, and she wants to work hard for the middle class. Bullshit answer. Bullshit. Throw that away. That just sounds so generic, so vague. What are you gonna do on day one? Like, say something. Give me something that I can, what do they say? Hang your hat on? Give me something a little more concrete. Like, give me just one example of what you think besides, I want to help the middle class. That's like Miss America saying, I want to cure world hunger. I want to make sure every baby, has a plate of food to eat for dinner at night. Like, how? How, Miss America? How are you going to do that? And I love that, Dana Bash, it was a pretty easygoing interview, but she did push back a little bit and say, you keep talking about this is a new wave. This is a new wave for the future. We got to get away from the old and on with the new. And she's like, but you have been in office for the last 3 years. I'll tell you in a second, Victorious. Congolese says Mike says, I'm sure every first lady and president have had Congolese. Trump just wants to be unscrupulous. Sincere says, always remember, it's hard to remove people from the box in which they live in socially and culturally. Yes, it is. Victorious, good question. What would you have liked her to say? See the answer right underneath you? Texas Repo says it's a feel-good policy, no substance. Something with a little more weight to it. She don't got to tell us it's day one. How much can you really get done on day one? But just give me one law that you're getting ready to sign into legislation. Give me one concrete example of what you want to do on day one besides bring down, I wrote it down, bring down costs of everyday goods. That sounds good. How are you going to do it? Because like Dana said, you and Biden have been in office for the last 3.5 years. So how do you lower the prices if you haven't done so already? And when she asked her that, that's when Kamala said, well, we've done a lot. We've done this, we've done that, we've done this, we've done that. And she started naming all the things that her and Biden have done together over the last 3 years. But if y'all did so well, then why is your first priority bringing the prices down? That means the prices have gone up, correct? So like, I just don't want to hear your run-of-the-mill, regular politician answer. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear, we're getting closer and closer to that day, y'all. We're getting closer and closer to that. Lowering prices is just not good enough for me. It's just not good enough for me. Jared says, people are always going to have different views in society. Strong mind and strong morals are important. Don't let anyone change what you believe in. Facts. We could totally be self-sufficient, but why aren't we? That's a loaded question. Sam said, Texas says his groceries are way up. His or her, Texas, I don't know if you're a man or a woman. I can't see your profile picture. Way up. Everybody's groceries are way up. Everybody's groceries are way up. So I don't want to hear Trump or Kamala get on that stage on September 10th and say to me, we're going to bring the cost of inflation down or the cost of your everyday living down. We're going to decrease inflation. Great. Now tell me how. Like, how do you do that as the president? How does a president do that? What are some things that a president can do? What are some things that a president can do to make the cost at the grocery store? Let's just use the grocery store as the example. How do you make the cost of eggs go down? How do you make the cost of bread and milk go down? Steak, chicken. How are you going to bring down those costs? Talk to me. Let's just start with that. Another question that was asked was, a lot of people are saying that they're going to vote with their pocket in 2024. In other words, they feel like they had more money in their pocket. They feel like the economy was booming a little bit better when Trump was president. 2016 through 2020 felt a lot better than 2020 through 2024. I feel like Biden, Harris, Walz have a good response to that, because that's a very smart question, and it's a very legitimate concern. If you feel like you had more money in your pocket when Trump was president, it's a good chance you might just vote with your wallet. So how do they combat that? And I think their response to that is a pretty good, crafty, sort of smart response when they say that, yeah, you feel like everything was a little bit more cushy when Trump was president. You feel like you had a couple extra dollars in your pocket. But when they took over in 2020, they had a big mess to clean up. They had that 2020 mess. I'm sorry, that COVID mess to clean up, right? So during COVID, you know what happened during COVID. Somebody said it, printing money, Texas repo. You on the money with it. You on the money, no pun intended. They were printing money like it was nothing, like money was going out of style. They were printing money. They were sending out big checks. Trump was sending out big checks before he left office. Was he not? Was he not? Texas, we're going to talk about tampons in the boys' bathroom. I promise you we're going to talk about tampons in the boys' bathroom. Stick and stay with me. And we're going to talk about a few other things that Vice President nominee Coach Tim has said along the way on the campaign trail. Listen, Coach Tim has only been on this journey for like 2 seconds. So we got to give him a little bit of grace. We got to give him a little bit. He's only been on this journey for like 2 seconds. But yeah, so their answer to that, when people say, people feel like they had more money when Trump was president. People feel like the economy was rolling a lot smoother when Trump was president. So now here y'all come, and all of a sudden, gas is $5 a gallon in some places, and a lot more in other places. People are feeling the pinch at the pump. They're feeling the pinch when they go to the grocery store. It's back to that time where you're making decisions between what bill you're going to pay and buying groceries for your family. Putting heat or gas fuel into your home in the wintertime to keep your home warm. Texas, I know, see, you say I can't relate to the border. You can't relate to my gas prices. I live somewhere where it gets cold in the winter. Cold. We got to pay for that. We got to pay to stay warm up here. Gas and fuel is not free. So their answer to that is, if you felt like you had more money when Trump was president, it's because when we came in, we had to clean up the mess that COVID left, or, the mess that COVID was leaving in 2020, 2021. All those stimulus checks. Did your mother, when your mother was raising you, or whoever raised you, I just use mother as a generalized statement, didn't she tell you ain't nothing in this world free? I know my mother raised me that way. Nothing in this world is free. Anytime anybody ever tell you, here, you can have this. Oh, don't worry about it. Nope, you don't got to pay. It's absolutely free. That's for you, mama. That's all you right there. It's free. My mother raised me that nothing in this world is free. So all them stimulus checks, I know it was a lot of people that was telling us, this is going to come back to bite us in our ass. This is going to come back to bite us in our ass. You can't just get big free checks in the mail. You can't just get big free direct deposits into your bank account from the government and think that you're never, ever, ever, never going to be accountable for it or have to pay it back in some way, shape, or form. And we're paying for it now, Joseph. We're paying for it now. So for those of you that say, I'm going to vote with my wallet in 2024 because I had more money when Trump was president, you got to remember, why did you have less money 2020 through 2024? Chap TV, you ain't never tell a lie. You ain't never tell a lie, Chap TV. We're sending a lot of money in a lot of different places. And this, somehow, some way, you got to pay for that. You got to pay for that. You can't just keep printing money or sending, these digits. These digits are not even peace franchise. What's going on with you? Thank you for stopping by. This money is it's almost like monopoly money. It's not real, but eventually it's going to come back to haunt you. So they asked her about that, and that was her answer. The reason why you guys are feeling that pinch is because we're cleaning up the mess that was called COVID. And it's going to take time to rebuild and recover from those years of COVID. Of course it is. It's going to take a while to rebuild and recover from those years of being locked down and all the money that was stopped from coming in. How we were stopped from making our own money and getting these big stimulus checks from the government. She says that she wants to start by bringing down costs for the elderly and bring manufacturing back to the U.S. I think both sides, Republican, Democrat, they both say that, right? That doesn't really separate neither one of them from the rest. They both say they want to help the elderly, as they should. They both say they want to help, veterans, as they should. And both sides say that they want to keep manufacturing in the United States. So there's no difference there, no big difference, no big debate there. Speaking of the debate, I can't wait. What about y'all? I can't wait for this debate. Immigration, big. This is big. This is a big topic. And we haven't really gotten a chance to hear Kamala defend herself against Trump when he says, you were the border czar, princess, and you effed it up. Like, more illegal immigrants came across the border than, you know how Trump talks. In the history of immigrants coming across the border, this was the biggest amount of immigrants that ever came across the border when Kamala was the border czar. Now, Kamala, you know that she rejects that title. I was never the border czar. Who, me? Who, me? I was never the border czar. What you talking about? That wasn't me. So Kamala wants us to know and understand that she was appointed a specific region to sort of oversee operationally, but that the border was always under the protection of Homeland Security. So, but Texas, if you ask Kamala, she's going to tell you that that wasn't her. She's going to say, it wasn't me. I wasn't there. You know the song Shaggy? It wasn't me. She's going to be like, it wasn't me. I wasn't the border czar. What are you talking about? She says that the number of illegals has reduced since she took over the region that she took over, not the entire border of Texas. She's just talking about this like region that was assigned to her. She says that she had that on lock and she took care of that. And she wants us to know that she does believe in law and order. And she does want to secure the border, and she will enforce any legislation in regards to illegal crossing at the border. Here's the thing. We keep hearing about her doing a horrible job at the border, but I also keep hearing, and you'll hear that from Trump's side a lot. And, you know, listen, this is what I say. If you hear one of them say something, either Trump or Kamala, and you're not sure because the two statements directly contradict each other. He says it's the highest number of illegal immigrants ever. And she says it's the lowest number. Both of them things can't be true, y'all. Both of them things can't be true. So they're cherry picking. They're cherry picking from the actual data and statistics in order to bolster the argument on either side, or they're just straight lying. So it's up to us. It's up to us to figure it out, because both of those things cannot be true. It cannot be the most illegal immigrants and the least illegal immigrants at the same damn time. Jared says, we need a straight up president with no fear that needs no help to make America number one. I wish. How do you feel about age? I feel like we need somebody younger than Trump. So Texas, what I like to do is I like to do my own due diligence. I don't just listen to anything that these people tell me. I don't do that. I do my research. And when I say research, I'm not talking about log into Google, type in how many illegal aliens came or illegal immigrants crossed the border, and then click on the very first article that pops up. And now I'm the smartest girl in the room. I know everything now because I went on Wikipedia. No. You got to deep dive. You got to read some articles. You got to watch some interviews. You got to go back a couple of years. You got to analyze this data yourself and figure it out. Don't let them tell you, because if you let them tell you, you're going to be confused. And then when you feel like you got to pick one side or another, you're just going to pick one side that, you know, speaks to you the best, or the side that's prettiest to you. And I don't mean pretty as far as like facial. I just mean like the side that's more presentable to you. You're going to go with them with lack of knowledge and lack of resource. Pay attention. Pay attention. Somebody's lying. You don't have to deep dive to see what Kamala is doing right this second. Well, she just got off the TV. She just did an interview. Of course, it was pre-recorded. It was edited. You know, I wish it could have been live, but we will get to see her debate Donald Trump on September 10th. Back to the immigration, back to the border. So there was a law. There was a law in 2023 that, was it 2023? I'm sorry, this was during Trump's presidency. I'm sorry, so it couldn't have been 2023. Trump's presidency, there was a law. It was a bipartisan law. So kudos to them for putting together this bipartisan legislation in order to bring some security to the border. But there was some other stuff, and this is another thing that I can't stand about Washington, is like, they create a law and it's supposed to be about the border. But then they're like, and by the way, throw in some money for Ukraine. Like, what the? Can we focus here? Can we just focus? Can we stick to one topic? Why are we throwing in millions and millions of dollars for Ukraine and Russia in a border bill. So now the people who might not want to send money to Ukraine and Russia are going to be against the bill. Or the people who are putting the money in for Ukraine and Russia are going to have to fight the people that are more interested in doing the border deal. And so that law fell through. But it wasn't necessarily because of that. According to Kamala, that law fell through because Trump did not want them to sort of cure the border crisis until he was president, because he didn't want anybody else to get the grace and the praise for coming up with a solution for the border. Yikes. Of course, I'm sure Trump will deny that. But we will see. September 10th, y'all. Is it September 10th? You know, the debate is coming up, and I can't wait. Jared says, why do they always have loaded questions for Trump, yet Kamala gets easy, non-targeting questions? Kamala did get some pretty softball questions, but that doesn't mean that she can't give better answers. You know what I'm saying? Texas appreciates my stream. Thank you, Texas. I won't agree with you on everything, but you do make good points. Thank you. And listen, the name of my stream, one day when I turn this into an actual podcast, it's going to be Black Girl in a Blue State. And I just want you to know, I'm in a blue state, okay? And I have very different views on a lot of different topics. But my state is going to be blue no matter what I do, no matter what I think, and no matter what I say. So this is just what it is. I have conservative views. I have liberal views. Somebody brought up Tampon Tim. I'm a mother. I have children, okay? I have boys, okay? And I have conservative. If you want to call it conservative, fine. I have very conservative views when it comes to my children, and when it comes to who I want in the bathroom with my kids, and when it comes to what I want in the bathroom when my kids are at school. I have, if you want to call it, if you want to give it a label, then you can say that they're very conservative views. I have conservative views when it comes to, women and men identifying as other things, and then, wanting to play sports with each other and messing everything all up and making it all crazy. I have when it comes to that, then I guess I'm conservative. That's why you should never label nobody. And that's why I never believe in just straight up party lines. Like, how could you just agree with everything red? Or how can you believe and agree with everything blue? It's got to be a little piece of you that's a little liberal. And it's got to be a little piece of you that's a little conservative. You understand what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. But I appreciate you saying that, Texas Repo, because I actually do try to be, well-rounded when it comes to things, because I'm a parent, I'm a mother, I live in this country, I'm paying bills just like everybody else. And I live in a state that is not going to listen to me, because they're going to be blue no matter what I do. We were talking about Coach Walls. Now, he was confronted about him saying that he's been to war, and he's never been to war. Why do these men do this? I mean, I get it. That's a stupid question. We know why men lie and say they've been to war when they really haven't been to war, because it makes them look a little tougher or whatever. I've been to war. I let some shots off. I killed a couple insurgents. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, landlord from Alabama? Thank you for stopping by. Thank you, Sam. So he put out a statement that he's been to war, and obviously it's been debunked that he's never been to war. And when he was questioned about that tonight, all he said was, I own my mistakes when I make them. My wife is a teacher, and even she tells me that I have bad grammar. So he blamed saying that he's been to war when you've never been to war a day in your life. He blamed that on having bad grammar. What y'all think about that? Another thing that he's been caught in a lie about is saying that him and his wife had to use IVF in order to start a family. Now, that's none of our business. That's literally none of our business. How him and his wife had babies is none of our business. But if you want to go out there because you want the people that are out there who are struggling to have children and struggling with reproductive issues, you want them to like you, you want them to feel like you're on their side, you're going to lie and say that you and your wife used IVF that's kind of a low blow to the people that are actually going through it and needing IVF treatments in order to get pregnant. So really, really poor choices there, really bad choices. I guess he and his wife did have some fertility issues. Totally not my business. Totally not none of our business if they were having fertility issues, but that does lead us to abortion. And you guys, abortion rights, again, that is a women's, it's primarily a women's issue, but it's a everybody issue. This should not just bother Democrats. You mean to tell me there's no Republican women that might need an abortion one day? You mean to tell me there's not one conservative woman on the other side that might just need an abortion one day? Her daughter might F around and need an abortion one day. Her granddaughter might mess around and need an abortion one day on the Republican side. So this should never be a party issue. This is a women's body issue. And then I'll take it a step further and say this is a man's issue as well, because men, we women, real women, biological women that come in all shapes, sizes, colors, creeds, conditions, we need y'all to make babies. We do. We need y'all to make babies. So it's your issue too. You should have a say-so in whether or not we're going to have a baby. And this is a conversation me and you will sit down and have together. But if my state if the government is telling me that I can't have an abortion, then that's taking the decision away from both of us. And I feel like that's not a Democratic issue. That's a everybody issue. Chap says, you laughing, this shit's scary, taking these people could be thinking these people could be running this country. You talking about the Democrats, or you talking about the Republicans? You talking about everybody? Trump said, leave it to the states. Sam says, leave it to the states. Sam also says that Coach Walz lied about his rank in the military. It's bullshit. Like, why are you lying about that, knowing that you're going to be found out? They're going to look. See, and he even kind of said it tonight in that interview. He was like, damn, like, y'all looking at everything. Y'all looking at my family. You even looking at my dog. So he's basically saying, like, every little thing I say, y'all are going to be on me. I've learned my lesson. Did he really think he could say, I've been to Afghanistan? If you ain't never been to Afghanistan, you really thought you were going to be able to say that and get away with it? Like, nobody was going to check to make sure that you actually had that military history? You served this country. So just say you served the country for 25 years. You've been a teacher for 40 years. You coached a football team. These are all really good, relatable, like blue collar, average Joe type of stuff that most men would be willing to shake your hand and salute you on. So why are you lying? Why are you lying? It just don't make no sense. But anyway, at the end of the day, y'all, and it sounded like he almost admitted that he lied, and now he sees that his lies are going to be found out, and so he's not going to do that no more. I don't think he's going to do that no more. We do need the Inspector General to be morally strong. Morals is a hard thing. At least with laws. At least with laws, legislation, that's something that's black and white. Morality is something totally different. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? So did y'all watch the interview? Talk to me. Did y'all watch the interview? How did you feel about it? What are your thoughts? I'm the type of person, I'm going to watch Kamala's interview, and then guess what? If Trump had an interview the next day on the Fox News channel, I'm going to go to Fox News and I'm going to watch Trump's interview too. Why would I just want to watch one side? That makes absolutely no sense. I heard someone today call into a radio show, a local radio show here in my state, and they said they're not going to watch Kamala's interview because they know it's going to be all lies. Well, how do you know until you watch it? And then maybe if you watch it, you'll be able to see exactly what it is that she's lying about so that you can have some solidity. It can sort of solidify your reasons for not wanting to vote for her. And the same thing on the other side. If Trump has an interview tomorrow night, I'm watching it. If Trump has a rally tomorrow night, I'm watching it. I want to hear what Trump and Vance have to say. Why would I not want to hear what they have to say? I want to hear what Harris And Walls have to say, I'm just tired of hearing that same old, same old. And that's from both sides. Both sides. It's time to get to the meat and potatoes of this election, y'all. We're running out of time. It's time to get to some specifics. This debate better go there because this might be their one and only debate. I don't know how many other debates they're going to ever be able to agree on. They barely could agree on this one. They barely could agree on this one. Trump was saying Kamala ain't want to do it. Kamala was saying Trump ain't want to do it. I'm sick of both of them because they both can't be telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Trump said Kamala didn't want to do it. And then there's video clips of her out there saying, I literally want to do it. And then Kamala's camp is saying they don't want to mute his mic because they think that if they don't mute his mic, he's going to talk himself into a predicament. And Trump is saying, it's okay. You can leave it unmuted or you can mute it, unmute it. I don't really care. Whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about Trump. He's just like, hey, yo, if you mute my mic, then I'll be quiet. But if you don't mute my mic, I'm going to talk my shit. You know what I'm saying? I read that already. Chap TV says it all started when they took God out of the schools. And that's one thing. Hey, here we go again with my conservative side. But I said I wasn't going to mix politics and religion tonight because that's just too deep. Maybe we'll do that on a Sunday. We'll call it Sunday school. You know what I'm saying? But I like the way how Trump openly talks about God. He openly talks about God, especially after what he just went through the other day, almost dying in front of all of our eyeballs, getting his ear, almost shot off, getting his brain almost blown out in front of all of us. He talks about God a lot. And I respect that. I really do. I respect it. Texas says, you're a smart lady. What about the Secret Service failure in Pennsylvania? Why did the Secret Service deny RFK? And they are looking into that. They are investigating that. It's not making major headlines. Have you noticed that, Texas Repo? It's not really making the most major of headlines, but there's some freaky kind of underhanded stuff going on with that assassination attempt. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for that investigation because it's happening, but they're not making too big a deal out of it. They're really not being very loud about it. What's going on, Trish? Hey. Chap TV says, why would she want to do it and get asked real questions? Listen, I wish that we could mandate the same way how these states mandate certain laws on us. I wish we could mandate on them that since you think CNN is your friend, you can't be interviewed on CNN. Go get interviewed by the other side. And Trump, you come in, you go into CNN. Why not? There should be nothing to fear. If you believe in what you believe and you stand solid on all your beliefs and your policies, then you should be able to talk about them on anybody's channel, not just with your friends. You know what I'm saying? But Trish, thank you for stopping by. Chap TV has been lovely. Texas Repo, Jared Thompson. We've been having some great conversations. Sam Rosenthal, big up yourself. Landlord from Alabama. Jared, I think I already said your name. We've been having, I think, a very productive, respectful conversation. And we might not, like Texas said earlier, we may not agree on everything, but we are all in this together. Can we at least admit to that? Can we at least agree that we're all in this together, Knuckles? We're all in this together, y'all. And Texas Repo, don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. I might not be in tune with what's going on in your state, but I'm a Cowboys fan. So, I do have some sort of connection to Texas. Hey, Trish, I don't really have a time. You want to know why I'm live right now? Because Kamala just did, well, she ain't just do it. It was pre-recorded and all of that, but she just released her sit-down interview on CNN. So this is my live reaction to the interview. So I just popped on. But if I am going to go live at a regular time, I will always give you guys an update. So with that being said, if you're not subscribed to me, please subscribe. Even if you didn't agree with 50% of what I said tonight, subscribe and let's talk about it. Let's get through this together. And then you could turn the notification bell on, and then you can know when I'm going live. Chap TV says they bust all the immigrants out of Texas. Those are new immigrants. Trish says, oh, damn, I missed her stuff. CNN, I got to see it before I comment. Yes, go watch the interview and then come back and leave a comment. Landlord from Alabama says, how about them? How about them Cowboys? Texas Repo, before I go, if you're still with me, Texans or Cowboys? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, hit the notification, Trish, and then that way, because I might be all over the place when it comes to this. I will be sure, for sure, be here for after the debate, after Trump and Kamala debate. I will definitely be here. Texas, oh no. We were doing so good. We were just starting to get along, Texas Repo. We were just starting to get along, but you still my people. And I actually do appreciate you for staying for the whole show, even though you and I didn't agree on everything. I mean, go CJ Stroud. I actually am, rooting for that young man. I'm rooting for that young man. I'm not no hater. I'm really not. Trish, the debate, I keep saying September 10th. I hope I'm not wrong. But guess what I will do? I will put that in the comments, and I will pin it in my comments after I end this live. Thank y'all very much. Again, my name is UGoddess. The name of the show is Black Girl in a Blue State. Thank y'all for sticking and staying with me for this live reaction to the Kamala CNN interview. Please let me know your thoughts in the chat if you're watching this on the playback, and subscribe to the channel so that you can talk to me some more about this politics stuff. The election, we've got 68 more days. Let's get through this together. Thank y'all so much, and I'll see you on the next one.